Mr. Bante, can you please play the video, please? Hello, uh, is the video audible? Can someone confirm?
Audio is not clear.
Audio is not
Audio
audible.
is not. Audio is not there.
Okay,
No,
okay,
absolutely. There is no audio as such. Only the video is visible.
okay.
अगस्त 2021 को भारत ने अपना 75वां स्वतंत्रता दिवस बड़े धूमधाम से मनाया और साथ में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने लाखों करोड़ों लोगों में नई ऊर्जा और चेतना जगाई। उसी चेतना को बढ़ाने के लिए देश के सभी विभाग विशेष कार्यक्रम का आयोजन कर रहे हैं। समाज के लिए विज्ञान और प्रौद्योगिकी विभाग द्वारा नावीन्य कार्यक्रम का आयोजन किया गया है, जिसका नाम है विज्ञान उत्सव। विज्ञान उत्सव कार्यक्रम सितंबर 2021 से अगस्त 2022 तक चलेगा, जिसे डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया तथा स्टेट साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी प्रोग्राम के तहत मनाया जाएगा। विज्ञान उत्सव कार्यक्रम में STI के लगते विषयों आधारित राज्य स्तर पर विभिन्न प्रकार की प्रवृत्तियां होंगी, जिसमें राज्य स्तर पर STI संस्थान, मानव क्षमता विकास, R&D इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, स्वदेशी प्रौद्योगिकी, नवाचार और स्टार्टअप, विज्ञान संचार और लोकप्रियता, महिला वैज्ञानिक, विज्ञान और समाज, फ्यूचर टेक्नोलॉजी, आत्मनिर्भरता के लिए बुनियादी विज्ञान, आत्मनिर्भरता और उद्योग और बौद्धिक संपदा अधिकार जैसे विषयों को शामिल किया गया है। विज्ञान उत्सव कार्यक्रम हमें आत्मनिर्भर भारत की ओर ले जाएगा। विज्ञान उत्सव में भारत के अलग अलग राज्य के SMT काउंसिल्स भागीदार होंगे। जो अपने राज्य की विज्ञान प्रवृत्तियां और नवाचार के विभिन्न पहलू की झांकियों का प्रदर्शन करेंगे। इसी के साथ हम सब अपने आत्मविश्वास को आत्मनिर्भर भारत के लिए बुलंद करेंगे। इसे आप YouTube चैनल और SSTP के वेब पोर्टल पर देख सकते हैं। आइए आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव हम सब मिलकर विज्ञान उत्सव के साथ मनाएं। विज्ञान उत्सव हम सबका अपना उत्सव।
So our year-long celebration has begun in the month of September, and in the month of November, as we have all seen, that the theme is the R&D infrastructure of the state. And as we all know that the state of Meghalaya has many research institutes, right from university to colleges, that have dedicated, they have a full dedication of their work in line of R&D research and R&D capacity building. Hence, we have identified a certain institute, organization, and university from the state of Meghalaya to highlight the R&D infrastructure of the organization, so that the mainstream people within the state, which include researchers, teachers, students, they can have an insight of the R&D infrastructures that the state as a whole has. So, in order to proceed with the program, since Professor Valia, he might have some work, I couldn't contact him. So, we'll go ahead with the next speaker, which is Professor Ayan Bhattacharjee, who is from the National Institute of Technology. So before we have a talk from Professor Ayan, I would like to give a brief introduction. So Professor Ayan Bhattacharjee is a professor of physics at NIT Meghalaya. He completed his PhD from Northeastern Hill University, Shillong in the year 2002 and is involved in research in the field of soft matter physics and nanotechnology. He has contributed mainly in the field of liquid crystal, the base material for LCD devices, and produced more than 70 papers in internationally acclaimed journals and given more than 100 talks in national and international forums on the subject. So, 9 scholars have received their PhD under his supervision, and 5 more scholars are currently pursuing their PhD under him. He is currently the Dean, Faculty Welfare, and has also held the position of Dean, Research and Consultancy, Registrar of NIT Meghalaya, and TQIP Coordinator. Professor Bhattacharjee is one of the director of a Section 8 company by the name NIT MF ITI, which is NITM Foundation for Innovation and Technology Incubation, which is involved in enabling techno entrepreneurship among the youth and especially the tribal population of Meghalaya. He is a member of several academic and financial committee in different institute and government organization. He is also a member of several research bodies, including life member of the International Liquid Crystal Society. Apart from co-research and teaching, Professor Bhattacharjee is involved in skill development, entrepreneurship, career counseling, motivational and popular talk. So I give the time to Professor Ayan Bhattacharjee to kindly do his talk. Professor?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much for that kind introduction. Let me first share my presentation, and then Is this slide visible?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay. So good afternoon to everyone, and I'd like to thank this State Council for Science, Technology and Environment for giving us an opportunity to present the research infrastructure that is available here in NIT Meghalaya. My sincere thanks to Syiem and his team for conducting this event, which we are celebrating as a part of 75th year of our independence. Now, before we go to the research, let me just introduce NIT Meghalaya to you. So our inception was in the year 2010, and we started at Surat, what is called the SV NIT Surat. For 2 years, we conducted the classes there. And in 2012, we shifted to the campus here in Shillong, the old campus of Nehu, the Bijni campus. And then at that time, we had only 3 branches of engineering: electrical engineering, computer science, and electronics. Then in 2014, we started 2 more branches, the civil and the mechanical branches. So right now we have 5 engineering branches, 3 science departments, physics, chemistry, and maths, and 1 humanities department. That is, right now we are catering only to English, the communication English that is required by the engineers. However, we do have some courses in sociology, we have courses in economics, and we also have courses on management. The kind of degrees that we give are the BTech in the engineering branches. So BTech in civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical and electronics engineering, electronics and communication engineering, and computer science and engineering. We have MTech in each of these branches, and all these MTech seats are mostly filled up, and we get candidates from across India. We offer MSc in physics, chemistry, and mathematics, and PhD is given across all disciplines, including humanities. So that is a very brief profile of NIT Meghalaya. In NIT Meghalaya, we have presently about 1,000 students, of which around 600 are BTech and 200 in the postgraduate courses, and we have about 200 research scholars. Now, starting, say we started in Shillong from 2012, and that way we are a very young institute, but yet we have achieved a few significant honors. So right now, if you look at the NIRF ranking for engineering institute across India, we are at 59th position. And among the NITs, we have actually surpassed many of the older NITs. NIT Patna, NIT Bhopal, NIT Raipur, we have surpassed all of these older NITs. And among NITs, we are currently in the 14th position. And among the new NITs, we are the best. This year, the ranking given by India Today across all engineering institutes across the country is 26. Recently, that is very recently, in August, we were declared as the best institute in Northeast by an organization called the Center for Education, Growth and Research, and our director was awarded as the Visionary Leader of the Year. In 2019, we received an award for which recognizes us our exemplary contribution in education sector, and similarly in 2018 also we received an award from Berkshire Media USA as an as the best engineering institute in Northeast India. So these are the few achievements we have over these few years. Now comes the important aspect of research and development. But before we go to the research and development, the important thing to look into is the vision of our institute. So we are having a vision to create bubbling, youthful, creative energy, making significant contribution to the world of knowledge and technology. But the very important thing that we are focused is the development of the state, the development of the region, and development of the nation. And in that order, the state has the highest priority, and then the region, and then the nation. Because there are a lot of institutions to serve the nation, a lot of institutions to serve the region, but for the state, we are having very few institutes. And that's why our focus is always on the state of Meghalaya. If you look at our vision, again, we want to create and encourage innovation, creativity, and we also want a clean and healthy environment. And we also want to engage in the creation of knowledge and development of technologies through very, very effective research programs. So with those mission and vision, we are moving ahead. Now, if I look at my departments, we have a very good civil engineering department. This department offers specializations in structural engineering, environmental engineering, geotechnical engineering, water resource engineering, and transportation engineering. Now, with our dynamic faculty, we have been publishing a lot of papers. We have been giving a lot of deliberations in different workshops, seminars, and so on. If we look across all the departments, we have published about 160 papers only in the year 2020. 21 we have not counted yet. And across the last 5 years, if I count, we have published more than 400 papers in very good journals. At the same time, we are also trying to get projects which are from the different funding agencies, and some of the projects are international in nature. But all that academic research does not become important if we cannot serve the local community. And in that, every specialization of the department has helped. The structural engineering people, they have done a seismic survey of almost every old building in Shillong, old government building or wherever we had access. After the survey, what was done is many of the old buildings were retrofitted, so that we know that Meghalaya is in the seismic belt, and we need to be prepared for any sort of disaster that may happen. And in that, we are helping the state. Also, our faculty have come with better techniques of cement mixtures with polycarbonates and so on, which provide buildings that are more strong and at the same time more flexible, which are very, very suitable for conditions in Meghalaya. Environmental engineering faculty of NIT Meghalaya have undertaken a lot of work in and around Shillong, mainly in trying to figure out how to minimize the loss to the environment. We had people who have visited the garbage dump out there, in the highway, and to sort out issues of landfilling. How can we do better disposal of waste material and so on. The geotechnical faculty of civil engineering department, they have done slope stabilization of various areas of in and around Shillong again. The water resources engineering team is involved in doing a lot of survey work in the rivers and water bodies of Meghalaya and also in Assam. So Assam it is mainly the flood control, whereas in Meghalaya it is maintaining the pristinity of the water bodies, which Meghalaya is famous for. Transportation engineering, it's done a lot of simulations about the traffic of Shillong, and we are hoping that we'll be able to very soon give a solution to the government of Meghalaya. Apart from all these things, the Civil Engineering Department has also signed a MOU with the National Highways Authority of India, and we are providing consultancy to Airports Authority of India, PWD, CPWD, Air Force, and any other department that needs our support. And we have been continuously doing it. So that's what civil engineering is doing in brief. In terms of infrastructure, all the basic machinery, all the basic equipments, everything, we have it here. And as we are shifting to the our permanent campus in Sora next year, which is most likely in next year, so there we'll have the bigger machines. Because of space constraints, we have limited, but still we have enough equipments and machinery to serve to the research and development requirements of the state, and also for the research and development at a very enterprising level. If we look at the mechanical engineering department, we have a thermal and fluids engineering lab or group, and they have done a lot of work on boilers, industrial boilers, and so on. There's a design and analysis group, there's a manufacturing engineering group, there's a production and industrial engineering team, and a new team has been formed, which is doing a lot of work on robotics and mechatronics. Now, taking all this together, how do we serve the state? Now, we have a lot of expertise in developing the unmanned aerial vehicles and also the unmanned aquatic vehicles. The unmanned aerial vehicles, technically, that's what we called it. Commercially, we call them the drones. These drones are figuring out a lot of information that we require for the development of our state. We have a very highly equipped lab, which is called the Computational Fluid Dynamics Lab, CFD lab, and that lab is used to simulate many of the real life situations that occur either in water bodies or in any movement of masses and so on. We have a very well established robotics and mechatronics lab. I invite anyone watching this webinar, please come to NIT Meghalaya. We'll be able to show you how robots work and how can they be used for industrial purposes, either for the day-to-day working of the industry or in case of disasters and so on. Our students have made a team. They have developed a go-kart, a very small go-kart that can be used in the slopes, as the sloping and the curved roads of Meghalaya. I know go-kart will not be used as a road vehicle, but still we have developed it as a prototype, which can further be modified into, say, actual wheelbarrow or something that can move materials around. We have faculty who are working on on the dynamics of the human body. So people are there who are working on artificial knee joints, because this is a very reoccurring problem in any of the hilly areas. Another very important thing the mechanical engineering department has done is we have developed a biogas plant that works typically in the conditions of Shillong. Shillong, as we know, the summers are not very hot. The winters are quite cold, and the biomasses used in normal biogas plants, they would not work in the cold winter conditions of Shillong. So what we have done is we have a solar plant connected to the biogas. The solar plant heats up water and keeps the biogas digester warm at all times, and that makes it useful in all temperature conditions of Meghalaya. So this is one of the biggest achievements. Even though in terms of paper and breakthrough research, we have achieved a lot. But in terms of really serving the state, this is a small but very, very important achievement. Another very simple, but again, very effective for the state of Meghalaya, we have a lot of pineapple production here. So our faculty have developed a pineapple peeler, which will really help the people of the state. And again, we have a lot of betel nut, which is consumed here as well as exported to the rest of the country. We see that the roadside vendors, they use the khasi knife and cut one betel nut at a time. And at the end of the day, they can cut maybe 40, 50, and their fingers are tired. We have developed a small contraption that cuts around 12 to 15 betel nuts in one shot. So that again helps the local population of the state. If I move over to the electrical engineering department, we have three sets of research groups: power and energy systems, power electronics and drives, and instrumentation, control, and signal processing. Now, these branches may sound very, very academic, but again, the people here have done a lot of research on distribution of power properly over the grids. We have already done some MOUs with many of the power companies, POSOCO of Power Grid, and so on. And we are trying to, because this data is confidential, yet through the MOU, we are getting the data. We're trying to simulate things so that the power can be uniformly distributed across Meghalaya. And at the same time, we have helped the state with the augmentation of power transmission across several districts. And we are not far behind when it comes to the concept of electric vehicles and research on that. Already our faculty have developed some small carts which are electrically powered, and they can be used by street vendors for carrying vegetables and so on. Going to the electronics and communications engineering, we have again specialization such as very large scale integration, chip designing, antenna design, micro electromechanical devices and sensors, and nanoelectronics. One of the major highlights of this department, I would say, is they have simulated some very good chips, and these chips are now on the verge of getting manufactured because of its high efficacy. But again, for the state, what it has done is it has signed an MOU with NISAC, Northeast Space Application Center, and with the help of NISAC, we are getting a lot of data through remote sensing, and we're trying to interpret that remote sensing data so that we can provide a lot of inputs to the farmers, a lot of inputs to the local people, so that industries can come up, farming can be improved, and so on. Another very important initiative of this department is the speech to text recognition of Khasi language. We know it's very easy in English or Hindi these days. We have Alexa responding to Hindi even now. But we want Alexa to be responding to Khasi also. And for that, we need a speech recognition software. So people are working on Khasi language in this department. The computer science and engineering department, it has specializations like digital signal processing, cloud computing, reversible and quantum engineering, network security, which is very important these days, and information security, and natural language processing. Now, this department is again doing a lot of research in the network security, and especially trying to help the poor and vulnerable people of the state who are very, we are looked up as baits for the internet phishing, etc. So the department is doing a lot of awareness programs. Among the R&D facilities it has are several high-end servers, including a superconductor, which is called the Param Sevak. We have a Param Sevak in the computer science department. And the institute has undertaken a very big project on Himalayan hydrology, how the water flows through pipes in the Himalayan region. We see that the water pipeline breaks down very frequently in the state of Meghalaya. And in a month, once or twice, we have a no water day or a couple of no water days. So these projects that we are conducting in the Himalayan region will ultimately help the state in solving these kind of issues. Apart from these engineering branches, we have the science branches, physics, chemistry, and mathematics. In physics, people are doing research, particle physics to astrophysics, and then soft matter physics, condensed matter physics, and so on. Chemistry, we have a lot of research going on in organic, inorganic, nanochemistry, quantum chemistry, physical chemistry, and so on. And in mathematics, people are doing research on pure mathematics as well as discrete mathematics. Now, with those kind of specializations, a lot of high-end research output is coming out. But at the same time, the faculty of these departments are trying to reach out to the students of the state who are preparing for the different exams, the JEE, the NET, NEET, and so on, so that we can help the students prepare for the exams and take part in these national level competitions. Now, apart from all this, we also have something called the startup and incubation cell. And as it was read out in my introduction, that there's one of the directors of a company, Section 8 company called the NITM FITI, NIT Meghalaya Foundation for Innovation and Technology Incubation. Now, this is one of the very important initiatives of NIT Meghalaya. We have started this company with the idea that anyone from the state, if he or she has an idea and would like to develop it into a commercial product, it can be a software, it can be hardware, it can be a good, it can be an idea, whatever. If someone wants, then we'll give access to our labs, we'll give access to our workshop, our facilities, our computation center, anything, and will help the entity grow, whatever it is. So it is not restricted only to the students and faculty of NIT Meghalaya. Anyone in the state can come and participate and will help that group, that individual, whatever it is, to grow and we will facilitate the idea to grow up into a commercial entity. So as we are celebrating this 75th year of our independence, we also are celebrating the 50th year of our state. And just as the video showed, the Prime Minister envisages for Atmanirbhar Bharat, we also would extend all our support to make a self-sufficient Meghalaya. We do not need to depend on any other state if we can just put all our heads together, come up with solutions that are very, very pertinent to the state, pertinent to the region, and so we can always move towards that kind of a goal. So that was all about the talk that I wanted to present. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Professor Ayan, for highlighting the R&D infrastructure of NIT Meghalaya. So personally, I have been to NIT Meghalaya, and I have seen some of the facility present in the institute. And yes, being such a young institute, NIT Meghalaya has really worked hard in achieving the goals of being one of the best institutes in Northeast India. And as you might know, actually, that SCSTE have been in collaboration with NIT Meghalaya in several programs, and especially with the sponsored project programs, whereby the SCSTE has sponsored several projects to faculty and students of NIT. And these projects are very much highly innovative in the field of R&D, right from the community level up to the industrial level. And the infrastructure available in the institute, I think it will really help to uplift the R&D capacity of the state of Meghalaya through collaboration with other research institutes and industries as well. Thank you very much, Professor Ayon.
Thank you.
So, moving on with the next speaker, which is Dr. Rabindranath Bhuyan. So before we request Dr. Bhuyan for the talk, so just a brief introduction. So Dr. Rabindranath Bhuyan, he is the Associate Professor, retired. He joined the Department of Fishery Science, St. Anthony's College, Shillong, in the year 1987, and acquired teaching experience of about 33 years. He served the college as head of the department for 22 years since 1998 till 29th of Feb 2020. His research interest is in reproductive biology of food fish as well as ornamental fish, induced breeding, culture and study of ecology, ecobiology of fish. Dr. Bhuyan has completed several major projects and minor projects funded by the Department of Biotechnology, Department of Science and Technology, NBF, GR, DCFR, BIMTAL, etc. So these are just a few of the institutes that have funded Dr. Bhuyan in his research work. So Dr. Bhuyan has guided research students, and one student has completed his PhD, and one more scholar has submitted his PhD thesis under his supervision from Assam Don Bosco University. He has around 24 publications. To his credit, 4 of which are special articles and 2 edited books. Dr. Bhuyan has organized several extension programs at different villages for the development of fishery in the state of Meghalaya, and has delivered lectures as resource person for training of fishers in the state. Dr. Bhuyan has been appointed a member of a high power committee for the implantation of Israeli technology for fish culture in Meghalaya by the government of Meghalaya. He is also a member of several scientific society like Association of Aquaculturists, SIFA, Bhubaneswar, Freshwater Aquaculture Society Limited, Barakpur, membership of Journal of Ecobiology, Palani, and Cold Water Fishery Society of India, Bhimtal. He has also been awarded prestigious fellowship such as the Fellow of Cold Water Fishery Society of India by ICR, uh, DCFR Bhimtal, for his service and contribution towards the promotion of knowledge and research for development of cold water fishery in India. So presently, Dr. Bhuyan is the chief editor of the journal Spectrum Science and Technology, a peer review science research journal published by the Research and Consultancy Cell, St. Anthony's College, and he is also serving the college as consultant of research and consultancy cell. So, welcome, Dr. Puyat, and kindly take the time to give your presentation.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
First of all, I'd like to share my screen.
Yes.
There is some technical issue I'm having. Sharing my screen.
It's okay, sir. You can take your time.
I don't know. It is coming only. I think you can see the screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can see the screen. You can give it in presentation mode, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you very much for giving me chance to talk on the R&D and in the Vigyan Mahotsav or Vigyan Mahotsav, whatever called in the Azadika Amrit Mahotsav time. And thanks to DSP, Government of India, and also I thank the State Council of Science and Technology and Environment, Meghalaya. I also like to thank the brother Albert, principal of St. Anthony's College, giving the opportunity to speak in this program. Uh, First of all, I'd like to just talk on an overview of R&D activities and our college, St. Anthony's College. Uh, about the college, before I go into research aspect and other thing about the college, St. Anthony's College is established in the year 1934 and became the first institute of higher education of the Don Bosco Society worldwide. The college has accredited by NAC with the rank of 5 star and in the year 2000. Then subsequently, it is again awarded the college with potential excellence by CPE by EGC. And the college was reaccredited with grade A by NAC in 2009 again 2014, and again currently the process is on. St. Anthony's College, it offers both UG and PG program. Now, St. Anthony's College stands as one of the best colleges in the country. We have several branches, almost all branches of science and humanities, also commerce. And interestingly, St. Anthony's College also offers a course in the evening section, which sponsored by alumni of the college. And the criteria for admission of these uh, courses is those who get below 40% and economically downtrodden. So for this backward group only, this course is there. Now, before going details about R&D, now what is R&D? R&D, it is the activity by which new initiative undertaken in different fields and tools are developed for improvement of mankind. The term R&D is widely linked to innovation in the academic institutes, corporates, government world, or in the public and private sectors. Research and development is the purposeful and systematic use of scientific knowledge to improve product or products, even though some of the appearance do not meet with universal approval. Now, why is it important? The commercial R&D drives competition, development, and improvement of products depending on consumer trends, needs, and demands. Uh, the aim is to make a new finding that can either lead to the development of new product or product procedures, or to improve the existing product or procedures. That is what Professor Bhattacharya already mentioned. The NIT is doing but a lot of innovations work, and they are doing quite a good work. Now, there's a basic and applied research and R&D. So, what's the basic research? Before going into R&D or high advanced research, the basic research is very important. The basic research work of a general nature intended to apply to a broad range of users or to new knowledge about an area. Then the applied research works that involves basic knowledge for the solution of a problem. Now, it also aims at development of the application of known facts and the theory to solve a particular problem through exploratory study. So this is also important that basic study and basic and applied research is required before we go into proper R&D.
Dr. Buyan,
Yes,
just yeah, sorry for your disturbing. It seems the slides are not moving.
is it moving now?
No, no, no. They're still stuck with the second slide.
Now,
No, no. Yeah, now it has shift. Yeah, it have shift. It have
now
shift.
it is seen?
Yeah, to the fifth slide. Yeah.
Okay. Now I was talking to about basic and applied research, and now going to the advanced research and R&D. For in advanced research, new product, service development, new process of development, and continuous improvement, and a new business model. That is uh, based on the basic activities. So in advanced research, R&D and innovation is the process of developing and commercialization new ideas based on basic research output. Then on the implementing new processes or changing the way the business it continues. Now, there are several steps in R&D, and if you go from the basic, from the conceptualization, you have information collection, then you go to basic research, then based on the basic research, the applied research or advanced research goes on. Then the protocol development takes place. These protocols, technical development takes place. Then further, it goes into advanced industrial research. The industrial research goes for product evaluation, then final product is produced. So this is the different steps it going continues in the process. Now, difference between the industrial and academic R&D. R&D is very crucial and crucial for survival in the first changing environment. Now, environment is changing tremendously, and there is a very fast development going on. So it is important whether the basic research or industrial research is there is the continuous technology change. It's very important to move along with the time. So thus, for an academic institutes, it's also important to adopt R&D research. So in view of these facts, so these are the basic facts. Uh, our college, Central Business College, Shillong, as an academic institute, also involved in the basic research activities in various departments, especially the science department. It is R&D activities not only in the science department, even for humanities also it is important, uh, required. Now, some of the facilities in the biotechnology department of the college, uh, here, like we have, this is the facility laboratory of biotechnology department. This is the bioinformatics centers. They have a huge number of uh, websites was connected to bioinformatics department, and this centers they cater to the need of the research scholars. Now, there are several instruments are there. This is just a list of some of the instruments like tabletop centrifuge, gel electrophoresis system, gel documentation system, laminar flow, etc. PCR mechanics or thermal cyclers, which is used in the different purposes of biochemistry and biotechnology research. Now, some of the facilities which is available in the institutional biotech hub of the college, which is sponsored by the DBT, Government of India. Like we have the institutional biotech hub, this is the lab where the research work continues. The research work is in the progress. We have some of the research centrifuges, then mini centrifuges. The, then we have the spectrophotometers, vortex mixers, ultrafreezers, thermal cyclers, dry bath. So these are the certain instruments which are required for R&D research in biotechnology. So this all facilities are available in the Central Business College. Now, some facilities in the biochemistry department, which is almost similar to that of uh, biotechnology department, they have the vertical laminar flow, shakers and mixers, incubators, vertical type of autoclaves, trinacular microscopes, power backups. Besides this, there are many more common instruments which are used for basic research purposes. Uh, then activities of biotechnology and biochemistry under the bioinformatics infrastructure facility sponsored by DBT Government of India, and there are several research work is going on like assembly of whole genome sequence in the cyprinid species, particularly in carbs, and more specifically in the Kasau in Meghalaya, there is chocolate mosaic. It's very, very important piece in uh, Northeast India. Then the mining of sample sequence repeats and the mitochondrial sequences from whole genome assembly. Then molecular simulation studies on protein interactions of late molecule identifications. Then multiple sequence alignment of downstream statistical analysis using data generated from wet lab work. So these are a few work which is going on in the biotechnology department. Besides that, the molecular genetics and plant tissue culture work also is going on, which is supported by DBT, Government of India, EGC, Donia, and several other organizations are also there. This validation of bioinformatics results obtained from NGS database work is done under this molecular genetic and plant tissue culture works. Then genetic diversity studies on fishes and the plants, particularly on the orchids, then citrus species, then some of the indigenous rices, which is already more or less disappeared. Now we are trying to regrow and trying to do some genetic studies on those rice species. Then the micropropagation of citrus species, like and the tree tomato, which is also important here in Meghalaya. And so these are the certain work is there in biotechnology and biochemistry development of the college. So here the development of
Dr. Bhuyan,
yes,
yeah, the slide have stuck again.
again let's start.
Yeah, it's got stuck at slide number 5 actually. I think you might have to click on the slide manually so that it will show up. Yes.
Slide number.
You can go to the slide that you were just speaking about.
Yeah. Can you see this one?
Yeah. This is the facilities in botany. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, can you see this slide?
Yes. We can see
Yeah.
the slide.
Okay. Then there's the micropropagation of citrus species. We are showing here this one. There's a micropropagation. Then the tree tomatoes, and like this, from the tissue culture, certain species development studies are going on in the Department of Biotechnology. Now, there are certain facilities in botany department, and the botany department they have this is the kind of lab they have, and the research scholars there whose work is going on, research going on. They have some of the basic instruments like spectrophotometers, rotary vacuum, evaporator. Then they have also vermicomposting unit. Uh, this rotary vacuum evaporator is used for evaporation some of the botanical experiments, and this vermicomposting unit is one of the important unit colleges develop. And the vermicompost which is produced from this is used in the college for generating the flowers, or I think also they are supplying to some of the farmers locally. Uh, there are the facilities in the computer science department. Uh, these are the lab in the computer science department. There's a server room, and they have almost more than 295 high-end desktops, and all these desktops are fitted with uh, high-end processing capability, with internet facilities and various licensed softwares, which can be used for R&D activities by the researchers of the college. So this is quite good facilities we have in the Department of Computer Science. Then there's few instruments used in R&D work in green chemistry. So green chemistry is, to say, it's a comparatively new concept where uh, the waste management or for the pollution-free environment to create. So they are using some of those instruments like sonicators, then microwave oven. Also, they use some of the special apparatus in the microwave oven to continue the chemical reactions where the wastage of um, biochemicals or the pollution of the environment can be controlled. Then the geology department, they are also involved in some of the research work, particularly with uh, the the Polaroid microscope, and they are with uh, studies in the rocks and the other areas of the northeast region. And the region, as you know, our region is geologically quite volatile, and so this department also doing certain basic research works on these aspects. Then some of the facilities and the instrument and the research lab in the Department of Fishery Science. We have this the research lab in the developed in the Fishery Science Department. These are some of the basic instruments like laminar flow cabinet, etc. for microbiological work. Then the sartorius microbalance, high temperature oven. Then we have the spectrophotometer with display systems for biochemical analysis or biochemical composition of fish tissues. We need to determine what is the quality of fish and whether this is really food value is there or not. We can go through this spectrophotometer analysis. Then these are some of the other instruments like double distilled water unit, autoclaves, then this is the pH meter, electrical tissue homogenizer, which are mostly used in biochemical analysis of tissues in fishes. Then we have a DBT twinning project lab in the Department of Fisheries Science, where we have a collaboration with uh, Central Institute of Fisheries Education, Mumbai, then the DCF for Vimtal, as and St. Anthony's College, and this is sponsored by DPT New Delhi. So under this training project, there's quite a lot of works going on particularly DNA sampling and analysis of ornamental features. Some around 15 specific ornamental features are taken up under this project. And under this project, we have developed quite a good facility for research. And here, like we have the thermocycler, we have the inverted stereo microscope for analysis of fins and the gill records, etc. for fishes, which is very, very important for identification of fishes. Like we have here in Meghalaya, one particular fish species like Khasau. Khasau has another species which is available only in Mosindram area. Now, to local people, they know it is a Khasau only, but scientifically they are two different species. So to find out where it is the difference is there, like in the scales on the lateral line and on the gill records. So this inverted microscope it helps to study all this part. Then we had a portable distilled water unit, diffuser, gel dog operators, electrophoresis units, then second digital pH meters, etc. And we have also developed the hatchery complex for research and induced breeding of fishes, and which is very important for the state. On and as you know that Meghalaya we do not have any fishery college, and to cater the need of the state, the Department of Fisheries Science and College is helping to uh, get the human resources. And we under this hatchery complex, it has been created under DBT sponsored project, and this is the hatchery complex, uh, the entire complex, the incubation tank, the breeding tanks, there's a broodstock ponds. All these are within the college campus only. And we have also developed a protocol for induced breeding of Labiogonius, which is commonly known as Husky here, and which is for the first time in 1496 MSL, the breeding protocol. The induced breeding protocol is there in plain areas, but in hill areas it was not there, which has been developed in our department. Then the protocol for induced breeding for Kuchia and chocolate mouse is also developed. Then a low-cost carp hatchery designed and installed in several places. Like in Sonitpur district of Assam, we have installed some of the low-cost hatchery. Also here in Meghalaya, we installed some individuals. We have given the low-cost design for installation. Then we have also the wet lab and ornamental fish museum. Wet lab is the lab where we do the all sorts of breeding and other experiments. Like we have this wet lab here in the college, and under this there's a Kushia research that is one of the Kushia uh, research. The breeding of this particular fish has not been done, and is very important. It's a medicinal fish, and this is very important for the northeast people particularly. But the species has declined over the years. Now, to develop and to go for a backyard culture of this species, we have developed a wet lab here and tried to breed artificial breeding. And though this is preliminarily we are successful in breeding, but still we need to do some more work to establish the entire protocol. Then this is also we have developed a ornamental fish museum under DBT training project, where the samples of different ornamental pieces are being stored here with households which put inside it, so that this can very easily can be identified. As you know, that lots of ornamental pieces has been disappeared from the entire northeast, you can say, but particularly from Meghalaya. For example, there was a pearl denio which was available in Jante Hills and some of the other areas. Uh, Last few years, we have not seen this pearl denio anymore. There are many other denio species which commonly known as selenite. Now, those selenite species are also gradually disappearing. Similarly, we have hill trouts, which is a very important species of ornamental value. But like that, we have almost more than 250 species of ornamental fish species here. But those genome of those species is recorded or not identified, and so gradually this is being disappearing. So we are trying to do some kind of genome restoration and the preservation of those ornamental fishes in the college. Also, we are working on the chocolate mussel, and as I already mentioned, protocol development on chocolate mussel. Now, here are certain research projects are there in our college. Almost we have near about 15 research projects. This is very recent. Besides that, there are many more research projects are there in the college, which are the different department like from computer science, the biotechnology, then the after fishery science, zoology, and the biotechnology department. So all these departments are involved uh, in this research project, and only in last 2 years, 3 years, uh, we could get almost more than 2 crores of fund from different agencies for research purposes. So, as an academic institute, basically we are a UG college, and also though now we have a PG branches, uh, we are trying to do whatever possible in the research and development sector, trying to develop certain aspects and trying to help the local population here. So through this research, particularly in the biotechnology and fishery researches, we are trying to help the local uh, population here. So these are some of the publications. We have quite a lot of publications. This is only in 19 and 20. Uh, we have total number of these are the different publications and the Scopus and other citation index, etc. Uh, Under this Atmanirbhar Bharat, uh, as we know, we are celebrating this uh, science development or science era for Atmanirbhar Bharat, and we need to do Atmanirbhar Meghalaya as well. So under this, already our previous speaker said that Atmanirbhar Meghalaya is very important. For Atmanirbhar Meghalaya, we have to work towards some of the development of our indigenous products, whether it's fish or other technologies we need to develop. So in this direction, Central Business College has taken certain steps, and we have developed proper laboratories and trying to help our students as well as the local population here in Meghalaya. So, with these few words, I'd like to thank you again, giving me the opportunity uh, for this. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dr. Bhuyan, for highlighting the R&D infrastructure of St. Anthony's College. And yes, being one of the esteemed and few colleges that takes up R&D research, I think St. Anthony's College has really contributed to the R&D activity of the state, either in the field of basic research or advanced research. And the facility that is being used, that is actually available in the college, is being used not only just by the faculty and student of the college, and I think it has been also been utilized by other institute and host students that have taken up research as postdoctoral fellow, research fellow, women scientists, etc. So, and it is good to know that St. Anthony's College is collaborating with various research organizations in R&D activities in the field of biological sciences, especially work that are focused on local diversity of local species of fishes, especially of the ornamental varieties. And your work on genomic barcoding will really help the scientific community who will further like to work on this subject concern. And I hope St. Anthony's College will keep on growing to further their R&D activities of the state and paving a way to what you have just mentioned, the Atmanirbhar Bharat or Atmanirbhar Meghalaya. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So our next speaker is Mr. Thomas Youngjo. He is a junior scientist from the Bioresource Development Center, Upper Shillong. So before we ask Mr. Thomas to give his presentation, so I'd like to give a brief introduction. So Mr. Thomas Youngjo is presently the junior scientist at the Bioresource Development Center of Shillong. He has been working in the center since the year 2008. His area of specialization is on phytochemical analysis and ethnopharmacology of herbs and plants in the state of Meghalaya. Lately, he is primarily involved in customizing technologies for sustainable agriculture practices and traditional healing. So I kindly request Mr. Thomas Youngjo to take up the time to present his presentation. Uh, Dr. Buyan, okay.
Thank you, Dr. Shngan, for giving me the opportunity. And before I start with my presentation, I would like to post the presentation online. Please bear with me for a moment. Dr. Shngan, is my presentation visible to you?
Yes, presentation is visible. So kindly give it in the presentation mode.
Yeah, it's done in presentation mode.
No, it's not visible in presentation mode. I think you need to share the entire screen, I think. Yeah, we can see
Yeah.
the slide, but it's not in presentation mode yet. So I think when you share, I think better select the option for entire screen.
If there is some problem, I can make the presentation. It's coming up.
Is it visible on the screen? Is it coming as a presentation mode?
But Thomas, no, it's not coming in presentation mode. Thomas,
Yes.
so with your permission, will it be okay if I request Professor Walia to maybe give?
Yeah, sure. I think we can. In the meantime, we can
In the
try.
meantime, maybe you can send the presentation to me. I'll do
Yeah,
the
yeah.
presentation from my side.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Professor Walia,
Yeah.
are you ready? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. And hopefully it is in the presentation mode and you are able to see the slide.
Yes, sir, we can see.
Yeah.
We can see this.
Actually, I am right now not in my office, so I'll not be able to switch on my video because the connection is slow. But I would like to share my screen.
Okay, sir.
So to start with, good afternoon, everyone, and I welcome you all for this very important program of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, wherein I must applaud the activities of SCSTE Meghalaya, that they are bringing all the institutions at a platform wherein there is a possibility, there is a chance for inter institution conversation too. So it is a great initiative. So we all must learn about the various institutions, the way they are working. I have been attending the presentation of the other institutions, and I am very much delighted to know the activities, and definitely would like to share some of these activities to our people here at NEHU, so that there can be inter-institutional collaborative work is possible. Although at this stage, I would also like to state that along with NIT Meghalaya, we do have a project on climate change studies, and that's how we come to know that many activities, whatsoever have been taken up by the NIT too. Although we have got some collaborative work with Indian Institute of Management also, I am Shillong also, but considering R&D, research and development, especially with reference to science and technology, probably SCSTE has not incorporated them. But I would like to tell you that they are also working, and especially management of science, they are working, and they are working quite well with reference to climate change and such studies. So we can include them also whenever such discussions are there. With reference to Northeastern Hill University, I would like to say that we are at NEHU. We have got various disciplines, and we have got around altogether around 43 departments and 4 centers of studies. Through all these things, we impart various science and social science and other studies to the students, and through which we just develop the societal connect, and we work for the development of the Meghalaya or the region in which NEHU is located. We are involved as such, being the Northeastern Hill University, being a central university. We are definitely, our primary job is teaching. We are in the teaching, which is evolving with time, and which are giving rise to job oriented capacity building programs. But we are also involved in research and development and innovation for the knowledge enhancement, so that to give a boost to the teaching, and the students are able to adopt to the latest technologies and the latest instruments, and can use them for betterment of their research and their
development, and we try to develop the conversion of research finding into a viable product for societal support and development too, because we feel that any science and technology institution should not only be restricted to the lab but also move their activities to the field. With this thing in the aim, we do carry out number of extension activities at NEHU. So this is what is a broad framework where NEHU is committed to work with the aim of rise up and build. So, especially with reference to research and development infrastructure, at NEHU we have got sophisticated analytical instrumentation facility. I would like to share with you all that any instrument which costs more than 20 lakhs is actually housed at one place in at NEHU, which is known as the SAF in short, or Sophisticated Analytical Instrumentation Facility. You can visit about the various instruments, its working conditions, the requirement if you want to get your data analyzed at the website www.nehu.ac.in. We have got various instrument is actually ICP OES, and this ICP is doing great job and it is being used for various purposes. Just to share with you that there was some report by the Supreme the High Court of Meghalaya. They took notice of it about the water which is being supplied to the citizens in Shillong, at Shillong especially, and wherein they found that when you keep the water overnight, then there is some bubbles or some oily material which starts floating, and it was a big job. And finally, with the help of ICP OES, they could find out that the level of aluminium was around 2% in the water. It ranges from 2 to 8% actually, but I am saying 2% just for the sake of reporting here. Whereas in the water, it is not supposed to be in the drinking water. It is not supposed to be more than 0.5%. So you can understand that by these instruments, which helps you in determine the various elements at part per million level. So ppm level is there, but even they are able to help us determine the part per billion ppb level. So we with these instruments, especially the mass spectrophotometer or the trace elemental analysis by AAS, atomic absorption spectrophotometer, and especially with the electron microscopes, we can, with SEM and TEM, we can have a photograph to a level which is normally not possible, even through very sophisticated devices, which are very sophisticated microscopes. We do have confocal microscope also, because it is especially for research in the department of zoology. So it is kept in the department of zoology, but we have got these major infrastructures which are there available at NEHU. We do have Department of Biotechnology and Bioinformatics, wherein cancer-related research, biotechnology, bioinformatics, and biochemistry department. There we are doing lot of research with various instruments. I don't want to name all of them, but they are free to be accessed by anyone anytime you want, and you can carry out any sort of work on the request of various funding agencies. Some of the work which is being carried out is the culture of fermentation of fish and soybean. We know that the turumbai or tungtap is one of the very important part of the food in Meghalaya. So which we try to analyze using these instruments, and so that the livelihood of the state or such a potential of the cottage industry can also be improved. We do have Department of Chemistry under School of Physical Sciences, where Department of Physics, Chemistry, Mathematics, Statistics, these four important departments are there. They are carrying out lot of work, especially the Department of Physics has got laser related various instruments. Department of Chemistry has got XRD, single crystal X-ray diffraction, wherein you can find out the thickness of any of element, but it is a single crystal of a crystal, not of a multiple layers. But there are many such instruments are there which can be used for various purposes. Although Department of Chemistry is basically involved in finding out some of the methods for removal of organic contaminants uh, uh, in the various places, especially the water. And this has been developed, and these methods, these contaminants, the organic contaminants, have been already proved or has been seen in the lab, and even the patent is granted. This project was funded with the help with the BARC, Bhabha Atomic Research Center, and it has completely delivered as per the expectations. We do have Department of Environmental Studies where lot of various kinds of works they are going on, because Department of Environmental Studies is housed with some of the facilities like CN, carbon nitrogen analyzer, and all. And with the help of that, as well as in the Department of Environmental Studies, we used to have various geophysical instruments, and now they are shifted to Department of Geology. There is a basic petrophysical lab wherein the triaxial compression, the unidirectional compression, or the breakage point of the rock, or the electromagnetic induction of the earth, or the electrical resistivity of the area wherever work is supposed to be carried out to locate the water bodies or such any mineral bodies beneath the surface of the earth. As well as we have got some GPS, the global positioning systems, which are installed all over the northeast, as well as some of the seismometers which are recording the seismicity in the region. So various instruments are there. We are open for any sort of collaborative studies, and in such a short time, although it is not possible to place all those things on record, but we do have all working instruments. We have got placed them at various places in Meghalaya so that we can build up good science and technology infrastructure for the society, for the government, for the people, so that they can be used for various purposes. We do have in the Department of Environmental Studies some bamboo resource utilization center, and we are also developing a community college at Vahejar, which is in West Jaintia Hills, so that even the students of that area can be trained by various instruments, by various infrastructural help provided. And then we have got medical laboratory technology course which is being offered there, as well as the mushroom cultivation, as well as bamboo resource utilization is being carried out at those places. And very soon that place may also be independent of say Nehu as a nodal center. We do have our horticulture, forestry, agri production department at Tura, and they are doing lot many things. I must say that last year for last, before this corona, one of the farm which was supported by horticulture department, banana farm, has been awarded the best banana farm in India. So you can understand that with multi cropping in the hills, and especially with the testing, with a lot many cash crops like lychee, guava, lemon, pineapple, cashew nut, and all. A lot many things are being carried out at horticulture department, and the things are being developed with the funding from various agencies like Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change, Ministry of Earth Science, Department of Science and Technology, Northeastern Council, and likewise there are many places where we are working. We do have a very good Department of Architecture which helps in in developing the various framework or various architect of the buildings, and they are also helping us develop using the various resources. Through the architecture, we have again converted bamboo as a emergency shelter. We do have some bamboo cottages, although those cottages are they were developed or they were constructed with the help of this bamboo resource center at Bangalore, but now they are being maintained with the help of the Department of Architecture, and they are doing lot of woodworks. Some of the Australian patents have been offered to them, as well as some of the innovations they do have carried out during the, especially during the time of the lockdown. And DST SERB is also funding various projects to them. We have got Department of Biomedical Engineering. If we do have 3D printer facility available with us, although right now the kind of development taking place in the 3D printing facility, we have seen that our instrument has gone in a very short period of time, has become obsolete. But we do know that the NIT Meghalaya is going to procure one, and with the help of our experience, probably they will be able to procure the one the instrument which may remain in focus, or which will be within the trendy part of it. Through the biomedical engineering or the School of Technology in Nehu, we are also trying to develop the Drone Research Center, the Electrical Vehicle Research Center, the hydroponics, the vertical farming of the agriculture practices at Nehu, so that we are able to further develop various infrastructure facilities and provide the societal benefit. At Nehu, with the help of various infrastructure, we have also under the incubation center, Northeastern Hill University, we have developed a non-contact infrared-based thermometer to take the temperature from a distance of around 30 centimeters, because that's what is the minimum distance one can, because 30 centimeters may be the distance of the arm, and 30 centimeters is the distance, so total is around 60-70 centimeters distance is there. So that's what is, as per the COVID protocol, that much is the minimum distance required. So what has happened, that non-contact IR based thermometer is developed, although in the market we have a thermometer which of German made, of China made, is available in around 2,000-2,500 rupees, but it is not long lasting, whereas our thermometer is around 4,500 rupees, and it is long lasting, but we are not able to fetch the market. So such issues may remain, but basically we have got lot of good infrastructure facilities through which we provide lot of good services to the society. And our energy engineering department has got lot of good instruments, and we are also developing a water turbine for generation of electricity from the flowing channel or water stream. And the first experiment will be taking place within the Nehu, as we have demarcated some streams, and will be using it for generation of electricity. Although still we are looking for some financial support. The moment we get the financial support, we'll be able to not only generation, design and development, but also to see it practically working on the ground. This is what is the dream of our vice chancellor. So if we'll get some financial support from some resource for which we are trying to get, probably we'll be able to showcase, and these instruments can be supplied to various small scale or various local scale to the local scale rivers and flowing waters, so that the electricity can be generated at a scale which is unimaginable, and and household level also. If anybody has got some water body, and those also can be generated, and it will support the government of India to a larger extent, because the electricity once produced may be retained by way of power grid in the way of some channel, and somewhere it can be fetched out. So like this, lot of work, lot of things are going on. we do have Department of Information Technology with the various infrastructure available with them. They are processing lot many IoT devices and lot many blockchain devices, so that we are able to, or artificial intelligence, so that we are able to cope up with the latest techniques, latest technologies, especially in the hilly region, especially in Meghalaya, can be applied. Here, I would also like to say that these projects are funded by Ministry of IT and all at the Government of India level, and these IoT devices are also will also be helpful in providing the wireless network, especially in the hilly terrain, because we know that there are shadow zones, and those zones it is very difficult to get the mobile connectivity and all. And during the pandemic time, we have seen that although most of the parts of the hilly terrain, they were facing some one problem or the other, but our students at Nehu or in Meghalaya also faced because of such hilly terrain and the networks issue. So that's what we are trying to resolve through various projects for which DST is funding us. So just to tell you, just to cut short, that Nehu is also involved in various extension activities by way of usage of these infrastructure, R&D infrastructure available with us. So we bring in awareness program, we bring in various workshops, we are doing various training programs. Like for ICP OES, the training program is going to start from 24th. It is a 3 days program, 24th, 25th and 26th. So anybody interested, they can come, they can join hands, because the united we are, stronger we remain. So with this, lot many awareness programs various departments are doing up, are carrying out. You may see various notices and all at times. And say especially Department of Geology, a very new department, is involved in lot many works such as earthquake risk mitigation management, landslide risk, lightning risk, the climate change impact on water resources and adaptation, or even the river cleaning and such activities. So you will say that even rainwater harvesting and conservation strategies, these are the Niti Aayog project, wherein they want that the participation of Indian Himalayan universities. They have made one consortium, Indian Himalayan Central University Consortium, so that this is first time experiment wherein all the central universities on the Himalayan terrain, they unite, they integrate, and then give some recommendations so that they can be adopted, and work can be carried out. Department of Geology has also taken up studied various hot and saline springs of Meghalaya as well as northeastern region. There are a lot of energy potential not only in the flowing water but also by way of hot springs. So that is also being tapped. So along with this, the NEHU is involved using these infrastructure facilities into various consultancy services. So with this, I would like to say again that NEHU is open for any sort of collaboration, any sort of suggestion, any sort of comment, and you are most welcome to visit any department. And if you find any problem anytime, then through me, I am head department of, I am CEO Incubation Center and head department of geology, as well as say you may say that senior professor in NEHU. You can contact me, and I think I'll be able to help you resolve any problem if you have. So with this, I'll come to an end. If you have got any question or anything, it will be most welcome. Yeah, I think I was audible and I could do justice. Although I I came to Negrim and I am making presentation from Negrim
Yes,
only.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I know that you are quite busy, and it is very nice of you to take the initiative of actually giving the presentation today. Thank you very much, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir, for highlighting the R&D infrastructure of Northeastern University and the sophisticated analytical instrument facility, also known as SAFE, actually is one of the main R&D center that has catered to the R&D activity of not only the university but also of students, researcher, faculty from the entire Northeast India as well as institute at the national and international level. And the various departments present in the university do harbor various R&D infrastructure, and a few department has also been recognized as Center for Advanced Studies.
Yeah.
And it is great to know, sir, from you that various other infrastructure facility would be set up in the university in the field of agriculture technology, drone technology, etc. I think this will really help to further broaden the R&D activity, not only of the university but of the state and the region as a whole. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable time. And moving ahead with the next presentation. So, Thomas.
Yes, Pak Sng'an.
Okay. So, you can start the presentation.
Dr. Sng'an, is my presentation in full screen?
Yes, Miss. Yes, Thomas. Yeah, it's in full screen now.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much once again for giving me this opportunity. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the State Council of Science, Technology and Environment for conducting this kind of sharing of experiences, sharing of technologies from different institutions, particularly institutions that are in the state. And on behalf of BRDC, I would like to also share our R&D infrastructures that are that are developed here in the center. And before I go to the R&D infrastructure, I would like to give a brief introduction of the center. At the center, BRDC is an autonomous institution which was registered during the year 1999 under the Society Registration Act of 1990. It is an autonomous society under the Planning Department of Meghalaya. It was established in the year 2004 with the financial support of the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, under a special package, the Prime Minister's package, and under the project which is called the Conservation and Sustainable Utilization of Bioresources. And this particular support has been very instrumental in infrastructure development of the center. And the mandate of the center is to avail biological tech opportunities and appropriating or customizing such technologies as meaningful knowledge to the states, or in short, it is to develop technologies or to convert the technologies related to bioresources of the state. And when we look at the objective of the center, we have certain objectives under which we have the promoting of the sustainable green practices for improved livelihood. Then we are also conducting studies, action research, trials, and scientific documentation. And then we also document the local knowledge and practices and trying to integrate these technologies, these local technologies, into the different components, such as the agricultural practices and the the traditional health care practices. Then we are also trying to mobilize or facilitate the 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 conversion of the agricultural system into the organic state, in which we are conducting certain demonstration of different affordable technologies to the farming communities. And simultaneously, we are also trying to conserve the indigenous plant species through micropropagation. And then we are also doing the scientific validation of the properties of various plants categorized into medicinal aromatic plants, then wild edible plants, even fruits and other marketable plants. And more importantly is we are also collaborating with different organizations and institutions, either from the state or from outside, for implementing different projects which are related to the sustainable use of biological resources. And in furthering all these objectives, the Bioresources Development Center is classified or we can say we have categorized the bioresources into three broad categories or the verticals, which are the first one is organic certification on plant production. Then the second one is the wellness, which is related to the traditional healing practices. And the third one is research and development. And when we look at this is the picture of Bioresource Development Center, in which we have the administrative and the laboratory block. Then the R&D infrastructure in laboratory, the microbial bionuclear laboratory, the phytochemical laboratory, the biofertilizer production units, and the dendrobium cut flower production unit. And I will go into the detail of each. And when we look at the tissue culture laboratory, it is a laboratory which was funded by the Department of Biotechnology during the initial year of the synthesis or the initiative of this Bioresources Development Center, in which we are mandated to conserve the indigenous plant species, particularly the orchid species. And now we are looking at the objective is to produce the quality planting materials of potential economic plants such as orchids, so that the detrimental destruction or the exploitation of orchids from the wild can be reduced. Then we are also looking at the production of bananas, particularly concentrating on the local species like the Malbhok. Then we have the local species, the Kajmon. Then we are also doing the micropropagation of various citrus species, particulata, citrus sinensis, and so on. Then we are also into the process of production of quality potato seeds through tissue culture. Potato seeds and potato planting materials. This is in collaboration with CIP, that means the Central Potato Institute. So these are some of the infrastructures that are available in the tissue culture lab. And this is the picture of the tissue culture lab, comprising of the chamber for autoclaving, then the media preparation room, then we have the inoculation room, followed by the tissue culture growth room, as well as the mist chamber, on which we are doing the acclimatization and hardening of different plant species. The work done in the tissue culture laboratory. Then moving on to the microbial bionuclear laboratory. This laboratory is being set up by the center in order to support the farming communities on the production of the various inputs for promoting organic farming. And in this laboratory, you have these are some of the infrastructure, the facilities, facilities there. Then the objective of this lab is inoculants ranging from trichoderma, PSB, Pseudomonas, Rhizobium, mycorrhizal, and so on. Then it is also, we are also using this lab for the production of microbial binoculant for conducting trials in farm field and in our BRDC farm in order to assess their efficacy in the soil of Meghalaya. Then this is the picture of the microbial binoculant lab, in which we have the incubation room. Then we have the packaging, working and packaging room, and we have a separate inoculation room for fungal and bacterial inoculum. Then moving on to the phytochemical laboratory. This phytochemical laboratory is being set up through the support of the state government Meghalaya, through the planning department. And in this laboratory, the objective of this laboratory is to do the phytochemical analysis or the validation of various potential plants ranging from medicinal and aromatic plants. Then we have the wild edible plants. Then we have, even it can be used for the analysis of soil, water, and various other components that are required during the process of either organic farming or in the process of promoting the traditional healthcare system. And in this laboratory, we are also doing the product development of various medicinal plants or medicinal and aromatic plants, in which we are transferring these technologies to the traditional healers. So this is the laboratory. It's a very small laboratory, and in this laboratory we have some of the equipments which are vital for product development, and this is called the rotovap, then the Clevenger apparatus for oil extraction. Then we have the centrifuge for the research and development or the development of formulations. Then lyophilizer, which is used for drying of heat labile compounds. Then more importantly, we have the UV visible double beam spectrophotometer. Then coming up to the food component, which is the biofertilizer production unit. These units are, the objective of these units are for the mass production of microbial binoculants, particularly the trichoderma, PSB, Pseudomonas, which are these production units are being done in collaboration with CSIR NBRI from Lucknow. So the mother cultures of these microbial binoculants are obtained from NBRI Lucknow, and we are doing the mass production in this production unit, which is the one in Shillong and one at Mendipathar. So these are some of the facilities or the instruments that are available, the major instruments that are available in this lab. And simultaneously, we will also be conducting R&D on development of potential indigenous binoculants in this laboratory. So whatever findings or whatever result that we are getting from all these research labs, we are transferring this to the local farming communities or the traditional healers. Then these are the pictures of the units that we have just recently renovated, though it's not functionalized yet. And we have this temperature control room. Then we have the temperature control storage facility. And we also have these sophisticated equipments for mass production of binoculants. Then moving on to the fifth infrastructure, which is the Dendrobium cut flower production unit. This unit has been set up with the support of the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, through a project which is in collaboration with IHT Greater Noida Institute of Horticulture Technology from Greater Noida. So this particular project aims at the production of quality planting materials. And in this particular demonstration unit, or we can say the central hub, we are also doing the R&D and development of customized nutrients, because in most orchid cultivation system, we can see that most of the inputs are inorganic. But BRDC, being an organic certifying agency of the state, we are trying to develop some customized methods into which we want to develop some organic nutrients, organic growth medium, and also developing different types of nutrients. For example, customizing or finding alternative to cocoa peats or cocoa husks, which are not available in the state. Then this is the picture of the central hub at BRDC, and below that we can see one of the demonstration unit at farmers level. It's an 80 meters square unit at farmers level, and it's a 1,000 meters square unit at BRDC. Then we also have some of the upcoming infrastructure comprising of the pesticide residue, soil and water testing lab, which will cater to the analysis of both chemicals and biological constituents. Then we will also be having the Ayush Wellness Center. This Ayush Wellness Center, it's a center which is run, or which is implemented by Meghalaya Basin Development Authority in collaboration with BRDC. It's a project funded by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, and we also will be setting up the common facility center for traditional healers. And in this common facility for traditional healers, we will be developing some customized technologies. We'll be customizing the grinders, we'll be customizing all the packaging machines, we'll try to customize even the distillation units for distilling different types of oil, aromatic plants, because when we look at the traditional healers, most of the traditional healers, they are not capable of extracting the oil that is available in various aromatic plants. So in this common facilities center, we'll be able to train the traditional healers, and traditional healers will use this as an incubation center or the common facility, so that they can do the processing of their plants and as well as packaging of their plants. And when we go down, we move on to the pesticide residue lab. This pesticide residue lab is being set up as in a PPP mode, along with the IIPM Bangalore and IDH. So this lab will particularly be used for quality control of organic produce, because as a certifying agency, we found that most of the produce or the products that are certified, when they go to the market, they require testing. So that's why BRDC is trying to set up this lab, though eventually this will be taken up as a private enterprise. And now pesticide residue in Meghalaya will also help in this will ultimately be one of the, I think it will be state-of-the-art lab, which will cater to the whole northeastern states. We look at this through the KfW, a German bank funding, and we are now in the process of the procurement of the equipments and the construction of the laboratory. So these are the list of the equipments, which I'll not go into detail of each. So there are lots of equipments here. So more than 100 equipments because it comprises of the chemical testing, microbial testing. So these are the, so this is the layout. This is which we have different components. So it will be constructed by the State Council of Science, Technology and Environment using customized technologies such as mud block. Then we will be having the Ayush Wellness Center. This Ayush Wellness Center will be run by the Ayurvedic institution. Like earlier, it was envisaged that it will be run by Santigiri Ashram, the Ayurvedic treatment center. So in this center, it will house different components. It will have the Panchkarma. Then they will also have the pharmacy of the Ayurvedic pharmacy. Then in this particular Ayush Wellness Center, we will also be having some training of traditional healers on systematic packaging, systematic treatment like massage in the form of Panchkarma, or they can customize this for the traditional massage system. And in this particular wellness center will also enhance the skill of those traditional healers. So frequent training programs will be conducted in this wellness center so that the traditional healers will learn the systematic way of treatment which is being practiced by the Ayurvedic doctors. So this is the wellness center which is still under construction, and it's estimated to be completed by March, April this coming year. And post setting up of this unit, we will also try to house the common facility center in this infrastructure. So these are some of the infrastructure, R&D infrastructure that is being implemented in BRDC or is being is upcoming in BRDC. And all these R&D infrastructures are envisaged to be utilized in the near future as the common facility center or the incubation center for various stakeholders, particularly the farming communities, the students of various institutions, whether it from universities, maybe from colleges. Then it will also be the incubation units for entrepreneurs. It will be the incubation unit for the traditional healers. So we emphasize that most of the findings or the results that we are obtaining from all these R&D labs, we are transferring to the local communities. So these are some of the R&D infrastructure that are available in BRDC. I thank you very much for your kind kindness that you give me the opportunity to present our R&D infrastructure, in which we are trying to work so that we benefit the local communities. Thank you very much. Dr. Shngan?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Thomas, for highlighting the R&D infrastructure of Bioresource Development Center and the R&D facility available in your institute, especially the tissue culture lab, is very beneficial, whereby you are preserving the local endemic species of orchid by propagating them, by conserving them, and by preserving them. And the organic certification lab that is to be set up at the center will really help the local people as well as from the region in certifying their organic farm goods and thus improve livelihood of the local farmers. And the Ayush Wellness Center that will be set up in by BRTC will really be of great benefit to the local community, especially to the local health practitioner, as this center will be able to uplift the community. And the testing lab also will be of great benefit to the society, especially to the local farmers, whereby they can get their soil tested before proceeding with the cultivation of their produce. And I hope that BRDC as a center will really be that incubation unit whereby it will be able to cater not only local youths as well as the community, it will act as a unit that will uplift the entire region of Northeast as a whole. Thank you very much, Mr. Thomas, for the wonderful talk.
Thank you very much.
So finally, we have come to the end of today's session of the Vigyan Utsav celebration for the month of November. So I really thank each one of the speaker who have really taken up their time to present today. From my side, I have just one message from the Ministry of Science and Technology. Dr. Arabinda Mitra, who is the Scientific Secretary of the Ministry of Science and Technology, he has directed the Chief Secretaries of all state of the entire nation to ask research institute, whether it is university, colleges, or organization, to get themselves affiliated with ISTEM, which is the Indian Science, Technology and Engineering Facility Map. So all R&D infrastructure that has been funded by the ministry should be registered under ISTEM. So this will create a roadmap of the entire nation, whereby anyone from any part of the world can just go to the ISTEM web portal and see the R&D infrastructure that are currently present in different states of India. So this is an initiative that has been taken up by the ministry, and it will be of great help if the university, colleges, or organization of the state will register themselves under ISTEM. And from the council, we will be sending the letter from the ministry so that proper information will be distributed to all the organization, institution, and university. From my side, I thanks once again to the speakers, and to finally end the program, I kindly request Ms. Vidon Hok Hongsa to kindly give the word of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Kongsti, and good afternoon, everyone. So, on behalf of the State Council of Science, Technology and Environment, I would like to thank all the participants and the dignitaries who has been present in this webinar and make this webinar a successful one. I also would like to express my gratitude to the DST, SSTP for taking this initiative as a one-year celebration of the Azadi Amrit Mahotsav through Vigyan Utsav and a one-month theme initiative. And this month, the theme is on R&D infrastructure of the state. So on behalf of the SCSTE team, I also like to extend my gratitude to our member secretary, Shri CVD Dingdo IAS, for his kind support and encouragement to be a part of this celebration, and also for his guidance and motivation. Thank you so much, sir. I also like to thank my heartful gratitude to the team from DST, Dr. Depriya and Dr. Rashmi Sharma from the Seed Division for their hard work and for making this initiative into a reality. I also like to express my thanks to all the member secretary and the representative from the different state council across the country for attending this online webinar and also for providing the support and framework in organizing these programs. So I'd like to thank all the professors, the directors of different institutes in the states and for attending this program. And I believe that your presence give us an inspiration and motivate us to do better in the future. On behalf of the SCSTE team, I humbly thanks all the invited speakers, uh, uh, Professor Devesh Walia, HOD of the Department of Geology, Nehu Shillong, as Professor Ayum Bhattarji, Department of Physics, NIT Meghalaya. Also, Dr. Rabindranath Bhuyan, the former head of the Department of Fisheries Science, St. Anthony's College, Shillong, and also Thomas Nyangju from junior scientist from BRDC of Shillong. Thank you so much for providing or for supporting us and for highlighting us all your R&D initiative in your own institute and organization, which I believe this really helps the participants and the public in general in understanding all the initiative taken by your institution and organization, which I believe this will help the general public and the mass public in general to understand the R&D initiative in our states. So I also like to thank the team from Delhi, the CDAC team from Delhi, for telecast this event in DST website or portal for the wide publicity of this webinar. Not to forget our team from SCSTE, especially Mr. CP Syiem, our program officer, who has been helping us and guiding us and also proposed the welcome speech in the beginning of this webinar. Thank you so much, Basim, for your support and your guidance, which makes this webinar a successful one. I also like to thank Mr. Bante Bor, who is the project coordinator of the PIC SCSTE, for your kind services to make this particular webinar a successful one. Also, a special thanks to Dr. Kongsti, who is the project coordinator at CSTE. I thanks for your kind dedication, for your hard work, because we all know that without you, this webinar will not be happen. So thank you so much, Dr. Kongsti. And last but not the least, let me not forget our own colleagues and staff from SCSTE. Thank you so much for lending your helping hands to make this program a grand success. Thank you so much, Kuble Shibun and Mithela.
So thank you very much, Ridon Khonsar, for the word of thanks. And we finally come to the end of this month's session of Vigyan Utsav celebration, and hope to see all of you again for the next month celebration of Vigyan Utsav. And it is great to inform you that for the next month celebration, the theme will be Indigenous Technologies of Meghalaya. So we'll be highlighting the indigenous technology that has been adopted and propagated in the state. Thank you very much. Thanks to each and everyone, and hope to see you in the next month celebration of Vigyan. Thank you very much. The webinar has ended.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bian. Thank you, Pak Thomas. Thank you, Professor Ion.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.